Welcome to the art scene. I'm your host, Lila Snow. I had promised that I would get over my obsession with 90 Day Fiancé, and they just had the last group and the roundup discussion with moderator Shaun Robinson. And I was just appalled that the discussion, instead of dealing with the major issues, were off dealing with totally different things. For example, I mean, there were three examples that just jumped out at me. There's Eric and Lila. Eric lives in Wisconsin, and his 90-day fiancé is from a very wealthy family in Indonesia. And she went to medical school. She has a 5-year-old son, Alessandro. And she comes, and he has no money. He has 3 daughters from a previous marriage. His answer to everything is, it takes time, we'll figure it out. So they arrive in Wisconsin, and he lives with his eldest daughter, Tasha, who must have deliberately tried to sabotage the relationship by leaving the place absolutely filthy. So, okay, you have limited money. Your fiancé is coming with a 5-year-old. Get a one-day cleaning service so when she walks in, the kitchen isn't overflowing with dirty dishes. There's no bed for the child. Tasha's room is a mess. She had been told to find another space. And Eric's room has a bed for one person. How about a double bed, a bed for the 5-year-old? And hello, how much does it cost to have one nice toy to welcome into Wisconsin? Instead, the whole discussion was about Eric's relationship with Tasha, and does his daughter come before his new wife? Well, Tasha's going to have a life of her own. She's 19 or 20, and so the focus was absolutely on the wrong thing. Then there's Ashley and Jamaican Jay. Jay is 20 years old, and he says things like, we fellows from Jamaica are tall, handsome guys, so we deserve a lot. And Ashley, who's a very attractive-looking woman, is 31. She's already had 2 bad relationships, resulting in 2 children. And so because of racial incidents, they elope to Las Vegas and are married by an Elvis impersonator who makes the vows into a joke, not a serious thing. So that's not good. Then they fly back, and he has entered a dating site because he's bored. So they're estranged. So here again, I fault the moderator, because they don't show a key clip where at one point he goes to a barbershop in a black neighborhood, and the other men say,
be married to her until you can get a divorce.
Like 2 years, I guess.
Oh, like 2 years? Oh, you cool. Yeah, marry her, man. Marry her, man.
Why not show that? Instead, Shaun Robinson asks him, do you think you're capable of a monogamous relationship? It turns out he didn't know what the word monogamous meant. So he was sort of thinking until someone said, maybe he doesn't know what that word means. So there again, it was not the key issue. Then there's Colt and his mother. He's 33, she's 63. They live together with 3 cats. And he gets what I thought was a very lively woman from Brazil, who comes and says, "Oh, Colty is fun," and she tells him she's afraid of heights, so he chooses. They're in Las Vegas. He chooses the tallest building in Las Vegas to propose to her, and she's nauseous, and he didn't listen to what she was saying. But here again, the discussion was about Colt and his mother. You'd think his mother would want him to have a life and maybe a family, and the whole discussion shouldn't have been about that. So I just fault the people who were deciding. And then there are a few other just outrageous things. There's a woman who married a man from Samoa who arrives wearing a sarong and does a little dance in the airport, and an airport employee says to him, "If it doesn't work out with your fiancé, give me a call." Well, he's no bargain. He's one of 8 children. They already have a 9-month-old who he holds by one leg, and she's horrified. She's the serious one who knows that he can't work, he can't drive. She's the money maker, and he thinks it's all a joke, and he says, "I'm happy that she's pregnant. I just wish that she was happy that she was pregnant." Well, hello. And then I saved the worst for the last. Here, the American Stephen is 20, and he gets Olga in Russia pregnant. So he arrives, and she has difficult labor. She has a cesarean. She's in pain from the cesarean. She's having postpartum hormones, and he wants her to say please and thank you.
You tell me, oh, stop touching him. Stop doing that. You're not going to tell me to stop touching my son? He's not only your kid.
It's never our son, and he can't keep his hands off this baby he opens his shirt and rubs his stomach. It's like he wants to devour this baby. So this is the most tragic of anything. He lets Olga think that he can take the baby away from her. He goes to the American embassy and the baby's passport picture is with a little black bow tie, and "You can't come in, you're not an American citizen," he says to Olga, who sits on a bench for 3 hours agonizing because he says, "The baby's American, so I can just take him back to the United States. I'll take good care of him," he says. Did he take a bottle to the embassy? Did he take a diaper to the embassy? He comes running back, pushing the carriage with a screaming baby, and tells Olga, "The baby is hungry." Well, hello, she's a nursing mother, I think. She got a few signals about that, and she's really terrified. Well, it turns out he didn't file papers, or they would have been approved in time for her to go back with him. And he didn't because he wasn't sure he wanted to marry her. And she's scared to death. It just was so unfair to her. Also, hello, he's a dual citizen. He's also Russian. And you can't just take a dual citizen baby on the plane. Okay, I just wanted to mention my experience with Somerset Town Hall Exhibitions, because I saw the person who runs it interviewed by Kathy Picard. And it's a very nice space. And there's a wide range of exhibitions, from elementary school children to artists who are in permanent museum collections. So I had been in Brody's Gallery with a retrospective, Philadelphia Museum of Judaica, in museum collections in Argentina, as well as DC, in Plum, in Hull, in Orchard. But I just thought it's convenient for my neighbors and friends, and so it was a very nice experience, especially since the physics department bought a particle painting that's in permanent installation on the 3rd floor of the physical science complex. So check it out. And now I've been promising audiobooks. It's a totally different experience. They and the libraries have a wide range of possibilities. So you can get William Faulkner and F. Scott Fitzgerald, but I also ended up reading authors I had never heard of. So sometimes it's actually like listening to a performance. I knew, for example, I knew that I wasn't going to get to see Book of Mormon.
Switch, just go click. It's a nifty little Mormon trick. Turn it off. Turn it off.
So the audiobooks ends up sometimes being like going to a performance. That was true of The Picture of Dorian Gray, because Oscar Wilde, first of all, has so many, he's so witty, has so many quotable quotes that this is done with different actors playing different people. So it's like listening to a theater performance. Then I also saw the film, and what struck me with the film is the upstairs, downstairs aspect. It's like Downton Abbey. There's always somebody ready to do the tiniest thing for the aristocratic man. And in the movie, George Sanders plays the Oscar Wilde character, who is Mephistopheles, who convinces Dorian Gray to sell his soul in exchange for not aging. So the portrait ages and Dorian Gray stays young, and at the end you see this horrible picture of Dorian Gray. So also, next time, I came up with some tips for remembering words that are, names that are easy to forget. So I'll see you next time on the art scene. This is Lila Snow.